I've got the new GOAT Everscore dartboard. In this video, we're going to find out if it's any good and if you should get one for yourself. Let's get straight into it. Before we take a look at the dartboard itself, let's take a look at the box and what it's saying on the back. Because some of these darts companies come out with some outrageous stuff. At the end of the day, a dartboard is a dartboard. You can't make it a different design. You can't sort of change how the dartboard's laid out. So they come up with some crazy stuff on the back to try and sell you it. So let's have a look at what the back of the box is saying and see if it's got any bold claims on there. So we've got UG Madagascan Sisal, precision at its core. Sounds interesting. 18 inches of bullseye bliss. Solid as a rock, 5 kilo of dartboard excellence. I think that's just the weight of it. Stainless steel bullseye ring, unbreakable precision. Spiderweb magic, no limits, just balls. I mean, that sounds actually quite good because obviously you can see there's no sort of spiderweb on the outside. So that is actually a good point. Stereo number ring, score with style. Again, that's the number ring. That's something you can design on sort of different dartboards that can change. And this is quite nice. I prefer that actually to the standard number ring you get on a normal board. So that's nice. And we've got minimalistic elegance, logo free number holder. So yeah, again, it's pretty plain, which is good, and I like that. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the board. Here is the board itself, and you might be wondering why I've just taken it off the wall. That's because this is the second time I filmed this part of the video. I did film it last week. I wanted to show you a brand new, fresh, clean board, and then I deleted the video like an absolute muppet. So I'm gonna have to go from here. Let me show you the board. I've been using this for about a week. Oh, ring off there. I've been using it for about a week. Now you'll have to believe me when I say this. There were a few imperfections when I bought it, which I'm going to show you now. I'll show you close up in a minute. But there were some imperfections on the board. Let me show you them. So, first of all, I don't see that there. The double 17, if not, I'll show you in a minute properly. The double 17 has got a bit of an indent in it. Can you see that on there? I don't know if you can see that or not. The bullseye had a bit of, let me see if I can find it. Just the bottom corner there in the bullseye was a little bit sort of indented, wasn't quite perfect. And also one of the major things on this board that I had is that is still there. You see that? That's a black line. There was a line in there when I first opened it up. So there's a few imperfections on it. I mean, it has been quality controlled. If you see the QC there, and it has passed the quality control. Also, the box claimed to have a really good bullseye on it. It said, what did it say? The box said, where did it say? Stainless steel bullseye ring, unbreakable precision. See that there? Unbreakable precision. Well, I can tell you now, it's not got a precision on it because there is a bit of an indent on it. It's not perfect. Nevertheless, in terms of looks and me taking off the number ring, let's put it back on there. Just want it back on there. It does look really nice. Obviously, it's a little bit used now. It's a little bit used, as you can see. A couple of things about the board. When you get it, it comes with your standard mounting bracket and screws. You see that standard. You get every single dartboard. You get the black sort of stoppers on the back. I would show you them, but I can't get them off the board because once they're in, they're in. So that's something to think about if you buy one of these. You can't get the stoppers out. Not that really matters. And the other thing. And the other thing is the screw you get in the back. Now I find this quite interesting. I've never seen this before on another board. The screw you get, it's got a little washer on there. So you can only screw the screw so deep into the board. So you get the perfect sort of hanging distance. So when you hang it on the bracket, it sits a good distance away, which is nice. Let's get it back on the wall and I'll give you a closer up look and see if we can see them imperfections again. One thing to notice about this board is that it sits flush on the wall, but it does spin a little bit. When you use a Blade 6 triple core, you get a little stopper on the back that makes it tight to the wall so it won't spin at all, whereas this does move fairly freely. So you either need to wade some cardboard in behind it or get some stoppers to go in the back. You can't put the Blade 6 triple core stoppers in the back of this because there's no thread to thread it in, so I've just got to wedge something in there. like a doorstop or some cardboard. And this is my weapon of choice. So let's get it up. As I'm putting the dartboard up, I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of the price. So I paid £45 for the GOAT Everscore dartboard. I got it from Dart Shopper, and I think it's a really good value dartboard for the price you're paying. It's not premium price, but it is premium quality. So there we go, and there is the board up on the wall, and I've got to say, it looks really, really nice and clean. I do like the look of it. I like the writing of the GOAT around there, and just the bottom bit with nothing too much around the outside, which I think does make it look really, really nice. So without further ado, let's have a throw on it and see what it looks and sounds like. Now, the original plan was to throw a few darts at the board to give my first sort of thoughts on the board, but as I told you earlier, I deleted the first video, which is really annoying. So I've got to film it again. But what I will do is I'm going to mic up the board. I'm going to put the mic just next to the board so you can hear the board, and you can hear just how soft it is, because it is a really, really soft board. And also, as you can see, that's about a week of use on this board at the treble 20. Now, I am using really, really sharp points. These are the Eagle Hawk points, and you can see how aggressive they are. So it's holding up pretty well for a week's worth of throwing. I've probably thrown about an hour a day as well. So they are holding up really, really well considering how aggressive the points are. But let me mic the board up and you'll be able to hear for yourself how soft it is. So I'm just going to put the mic in place just on the side of the skull here so you can hear the board properly. As you'll hear in a second, this board is really, really soft. I don't think the sound quality of this video does the board justice. In real life, it actually sounds like a Blade 6 triple core when they play the floor events at the PDC. That sort of thud to it. But to give it a proper full review, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a month or 3 weeks from now, so it'll be a month in total since I've had it, come back to it and see what sort of state it's in. Like I say, I am using the really aggressive points, so if these points don't dig it up, then no points will, because these are super, super sharp. So we'll come back in a month and see how we've got on. And just like that, can you believe it, 1 full month has passed. And I've got to say, before I show you the board, it has done phenomenally well. Let me show you it closer up. You can see close up, I have turned the board, so I've turned it 1 rotation. I turned the treble after about another 2 or 3 days after I had filmed the previous video. I've been on this treble since. Yes, it's a little bit worn. You can see from previously on the 9 here, which was the 1 and the 5, that yeah, it was a little bit worn, but the amount of abuse I was giving it, at least an hour a day with the really sharp points. I did do a video on these points, so if you haven't seen, go back and watch that video. That's about how sharp these points are and what points they are, so go back and watch that one. But yeah, this is held up really, really well. To sum up, is the GOAT board any good, and should you get one for yourself? Now, this is a big shout, and it's a huge shout, but I'm going to say it. The GOAT board is as good as the Blade 6 triple core. It's exactly the same durability wise, it's soft, it looks really nice. The only issue was the minor imperfections that I had around the outside of the board, but they're really, really minor. They don't really affect how the board plays. And the main difference is the price. This is a lot cheaper than the triple core. Triple core is, I think, £70–80 still, whereas this, as I mentioned earlier, £45, half the price, but just as good a value, just as good a quality, sorry, and value. Yes, like I mentioned, you've got the minor imperfections, but with the big discrepancy in prices, it definitely makes up for it. The board, like I say, is just as good, if not better, than the triple core, in my opinion. And I'm not paid by GOAT or anything like that. I have no affiliation with GOAT at all. I paid for this board. Let me know what you think if you've got a GOAT board, and I'll catch you in the next video.